You've heard the hype, seen the headlines, and maybe even bought into the buzz. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, two names that can sell out arenas, looked like the event of the century. But here's the twist: was it all just smoke and mirrors? Behind the flashy promos, dramatic stare-downs, and endless social media chatter lies a story that's far from the fairy tale of two legends colliding. From questionable motives to suspicious tactics, there's more to this matchup than meets the eye. Let's pull back the curtain and dive into the reasons this fight was a scam and the top moments that left everyone talking. Number 10. One of the biggest red flags from the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight came early on in the opening round, a moment that had fans crying foul. Tyson, a legendary knockout artist known for his relentless aggression, had Jake Paul cornered against the ropes. He landed a powerful left hand, the kind of punch that has ended careers, but then, nothing. Instead of following up like the Tyson everyone knows, he held back, giving Paul a chance to recover.
When you get challenged by someone who's a guy like a Jake Paul, does that piss you off? It's brave, it's bold of him, but it's kind of insulting.
It's a circus, all round.
Jake Paul circus.
It's a circus.
This man is a con man. He's a fake. It's a bit of a circus, I think.
He's a clown.
Jake Paul's a bully, don't forget.
Is anyone tired of the circus act yet?
This wasn't just a small hesitation, it looked deliberate. For a fighter who built his name on finishing opponents without mercy, this uncharacteristic pause felt out of place. Fans flooded social media with claims that Tyson was paid to go easy or that the fight had been choreographed. Whether true or not, this single moment left many convinced that the match wasn't a battle but a staged spectacle. Number 9. The final scorecard sent shockwaves through the boxing world, 7-8-7-4 in favor of Jake Paul. A unanimous decision against a legend like Mike Tyson? Fans were quick to call it suspicious, with many questioning how the judges could possibly see Paul as the clear winner. Throughout the fight, Tyson displayed bursts of dominance that seemed to overshadow Paul's efforts. His powerful jabs and ring control had viewers convinced he was ahead. Yet the scorecards told a completely different story. Social media exploded with claims of favoritism, with some accusing the event organizers of ensuring Paul's victory to preserve his rising star status. The result felt more like a Netflix script than a legitimate boxing outcome. Tyson's legacy speaks for itself, but this decision left fans wondering if the judges were scoring a fight or just following orders to keep the Paul hype train alive. Number 8. Mike Tyson's physical condition during the fight raised serious questions. Known for his explosive speed and unmatched endurance, Tyson appeared unusually sluggish in the later rounds. While age can naturally play a role, he's 58 years old. This wasn't the Tyson fans had seen in recent exhibitions, where he moved with surprising agility for his age. Adding fuel to the controversy was Tyson's reliance on a knee brace, which some claimed was more of a plot device than a genuine hindrance. Critics suggested it conveniently explained why the boxing icon wasn't at full strength, allowing Jake Paul to dominate in key moments. Fans speculated that Tyson may have been intentionally underperforming to ensure the fight leaned in Paul's favor. After all, a Paul victory would bring more attention and revenue to future events. Whether true or not, Tyson's lackluster conditioning left fans scratching their heads. Number 7. The next thing that made us believe the fight was a scam was Tyson's shockingly tame approach in the ring. Fans expected Iron Mike, known for his ferocious intensity and relentless pressure, to bring that same fire against Jake Paul. Instead, what they got felt like a shadow of the legend. Tyson threw fewer punches than expected and seemed hesitant in key moments where he could have turned the tide. His infamous ability to corner opponents and deliver devastating combinations was nowhere to be seen. Critics argued that Tyson was either told to hold back or had agreed to play nice to avoid overshadowing Paul. This wasn't the Tyson who terrified opponents in his prime or even the one seen in his exhibitions. Fans couldn't shake the feeling that something or someone had clipped the wings of the boxing icon, turning a fight into a performance. Number 6. One more reason that made the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight feel like a scam was the over-the-top promotional circus surrounding it.
I started Jake off and I'ma finish him.
Problem child, Jake Paul.
From dramatic trailers to endless social media campaigns, the event was hyped as the fight of the century. But when fight night came, the action didn't live up to the expectations. The build-up focused more on selling the narrative than showcasing genuine competition. Tyson, a heavyweight legend, and Paul, a YouTube star turned boxer, seemed like an odd pairing from the start. Fans were sold on the idea of an epic showdown, but instead, they got about that felt choreographed for maximum marketing impact rather than authenticity. Many noticed the fight played into the storyline of Jake Paul solidifying himself as a legitimate boxer. The overhyped build-up and underwhelming fight left fans wondering if they had paid for drama rather than sport. Number 5. If there's one thing that raised eyebrows during the Jake Paul vs. Mike Tyson fight, it was the referee's puzzling decisions that seemed to favor Paul. From the opening rounds, Tyson's natural aggression was constantly disrupted, with the referee stepping in at odd moments that broke the flow of the fight. The most controversial instance happened in round 4 when Tyson landed a sharp body shot that visibly hurt Paul. Instead of letting Tyson capitalize, the referee intervened, giving Paul precious seconds to regroup. At the same time, Tyson was called out for minor infractions, while Paul's frequent clinching went unaddressed. For a fight with so much on the line, fans expected fairness in the ring.
Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Instead, the officiating came across as one-sided, leading many to believe the match was engineered to keep Paul's momentum and the hype surrounding him alive for future paydays. Number 4. Here's another reason that made fans cry foul: the glaring weight gap between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. While Tyson is a natural heavyweight with decades of experience, Paul came into the fight weighing significantly less. On paper, this should have given Tyson a clear advantage. But instead of using his size and power, Tyson looked unusually reserved. Critics speculated that the weight difference was part of the script to make Paul's victory seem more impressive. The fight was hyped as a clash of two different generations, yet the glaring mismatch in conditioning and strategy raised suspicions. Tyson's lack of aggression, combined with Paul's seemingly endless stamina, made fans question whether the entire setup was designed to favor the younger fighter. The unusual dynamic left many wondering if this wasn't a true competition, but a carefully orchestrated spectacle with a predetermined narrative to boost Paul's brand. Number 3. One of the most suspicious moments that raised doubts about the legitimacy of the Jake Paul vs. Mike Tyson fight was Tyson's odd refusal to entertain a rematch.
Broadcast team was debating what you were doing with your glove. Was it a mouthpiece issue or were you just biting on your glove? What was that? Could you tell us?
Oh, I have a habit of biting my gloves when I fight, yes.
Why do you do that?
I have a biting fixation.
After the controversial result, fans were eager to see if Tyson would demand a second shot to settle the score. Instead, Tyson's camp remained silent, and Paul, seemingly eager to move on, quickly started talking about his next big fight.
Frustrating night. Every time the picture froze, people yelled, "This sucks!" And then the picture unfroze and people yelled, "This sucks too!"
This strange lack of interest in a rematch raised eyebrows. Why would a fighter like Tyson, with such pride and a competitive spirit, not want to prove himself in the ring again? Fans began to speculate that Tyson's decision was part of the bigger picture. Perhaps he had been paid off to let Paul win, and the rematch was never part of the plan.
Be next.
I'll kill you, Mike.
No, please, no.
It's on then.
Just don't step on his toes. It's all forgiven between you two because yesterday it got pretty personal and heated.
That happens when you get ready to fight. You're in the moment.
Hey, that was a good slap. I like that.
Tyson's silence only deepened the suspicions that this fight was more about entertainment and less about true competition. Number 2. Another reason the fight raised suspicions is the uncanny timing of the event. Held at a time when both Tyson's and Paul's careers seemed to be at critical junctures, the fight appeared to be more about timing than competition. Jake Paul, having built his career on viral boxing events, was looking for a way to stay in the spotlight. Tyson, on the other hand, was coming off a period of silence after his brief comeback exhibitions. The fight, coming out of nowhere, gave both men the chance to reignite interest in their boxing personas. The timing of the event felt calculated, as if it was meant to capitalize on both fighters' fame while maintaining the hype around Paul's image as a fighter. Critics argued that the event was nothing more than a well-timed spectacle designed for maximum exposure and financial gain, rather than a true, competitive fight. Number 1. Last but not least, the most convincing reason why the Jake Paul vs. Mike Tyson fight felt scripted was the bizarre events of the final round. With Paul already ahead on the scorecards, Tyson's performance in the last round raised major red flags. In what could have been his chance to turn the fight around, Tyson, instead of going for broke, seemed to coast. He barely threw punches and appeared to be just going through the motions. Fans pointed out that Tyson had the opportunity to finish Paul off, especially when Paul looked exhausted, yet he held back. This final round felt like a calculated move to secure Paul's win without a knockout, keeping the narrative intact. The staged comeback was meant to protect Tyson's legacy while ensuring Paul kept his undefeated streak. It was the most glaring sign that this fight wasn't about sport, it was about profit. In the end, the Jake Paul vs. Mike Tyson fight raised more questions than it answered, leaving fans wondering if it was all just a staged spectacle. With questionable moments throughout the bout, it's hard to shake the feeling that something wasn't quite right. Do you think the fight was truly a scam, or was it just a bad night for Tyson? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to dig deeper into the world of celebrity trends, check out these other great clips from Faminatics and subscribe for new videos every day. Thanks for watching Faminatics.